A newlywed wife who feared her husband was cheating on her checked his phone, only to discover horrific child abuse images of children as young as 3 months old. Michelle Power says she decided to check her husband's phone after he went off sex shortly after their marriage and became suspicious he was messaging other women. But the 47-year-old discovered Wright's twisted stash of sex abuse images with pictures of children as young as 3 months old. She decided to go to the police, and Paedophile Wright was jailed for 2 years for having the sickening images. Michelle said, "I began to suspect he was cheating on me. Then I became extra suspicious when he spent every spare second on his phone. He was literally glued to his screen. If I asked him what he was doing, he'd just huff and say he was on Facebook. He always looked guilty and would turn it off when I appeared in the room." Michelle then checked her husband's phone after he received an upgrade. She said, "My heart raced as I was waiting to find some saucy messages, and there were hundreds of them, all describing sexual acts, dozens of calls from unknown numbers. Then I clicked onto his pictures, and then I found something far worse than I could have ever imagined." Share this article. Share. "I could barely breathe when I saw those terrible photographs. There were lots of photographs of very young children being abused. It was horrific. There were also dozens and dozens of text messages from James to other men and photographs of James dressed in my underwear. I also saw he'd made lots of calls and had been having phone sex with the men too. I almost threw up, and then I just broke down and sobbed." Health worker Michelle, from Swansea, South Wales, contacted a lawyer who told her to take her evidence to the police. Michelle said, "I told them everything. I was very scared, but later that day they arrested James." His words to the police were, "I know I should not be doing it. I remember getting home and seeing our wedding photograph on the mantelpiece. I looked at James and wondered who on earth he was, this man I'd exchanged wedding vows with. It was utterly sickening to think I'd loved and trusted this man." Michelle told how the couple had married in 2013, but sex between them quickly fizzled out after their dream wedding on the Greek island of Zante. She said, "James was so charming, but he had no interest in me in the bedroom. He always wore his underpants to bed and could never relax. Sex with him was a complete letdown, and if I tried to talk about it, he'd just close me down and wouldn't talk about it. But now I know why our sex life was completely non-existent. James got his thrills from much darker places. I am just very glad he is behind bars, where he belongs. He has devastated so many lives." Wright, from Swansea, admitted possessing and distributing images of children at Swansea Crown Court. Judge Gerard Walters, QC, told him, "You peddled the misery of real children. The possession of images of children is a serious offence, but you've been involved in the distribution of the most obscene images of young children, including infants as young as 3 to 6 months. It is a grave and appalling abuse of young children, real children being abused by real adults. Each time it is distributed and seen by an adult, the same child is being abused all over again. Wright was jailed for 2 years and ordered to sign the sex offenders register.